Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart, and it comes in 1/48 scale. So what is interesting here is that we are getting advanced kit, so it's P-47M Thunderbolt. In advanced version it should have a bit more parts and also a bit more marking options as well. And of course what I have here on the table, that's the final shape of this release. So kit number 48032, that's something what you will get in any good model shop and in Madeleine for sure. And as you can see, we have really beautiful box art here, and the box size is rather standard for this type of release from Miniart. Here is comparison with my hand. Also we have short list of the features here, and as far as you can see, the length of the model will be 233mm and wingspan will be 258. So not a huge build, but quite a considerable size for 1/48 scale. Here on the side you will find also some information about the manufacturer, some safety advices, and on the opposite side you can see also the Decals map and also the hint that decals are printed in cartograph. Here we also get 3 marking options which are included here. So as you can see, they're quite different in coloring, let's put it this way, so that's why it might be a difficult choice to make on which one you would like to copy in the scale. So this is a top opening box as you just saw, and inside we have all of the frames sealed into one plastic bag, as you can notice, so I will have to cut through them all and check everything together with you. So in the meantime I can remind you that you can also get the M version in a simple release without the advanced designation. It will mean fewer parts, also absence of the P parts from what I remember. So for some modelers this might be an acceptable trade for a bit more attractive price, and maybe this will give them the chance also to focus on some external features instead of the interior. But that's again your decision. And now you can hear that I'm opening the plastic bag, and we will take a closer look together in a second, so just give me a moment. First we are going to start with the Fuselage house. So here's the first one. I will just zoom in and open the lenses. So as you can see, the external features are quite nice here. We have recessed panel lines and rivets, and it's literally covered with the rivets. So try not to overdo the layers of paint and primer and it will be nice. And here is what we have inside. So as you can see, there is not that much of thing happening in the cockpit area. That's because the cockpit will be assembled separately. But at least we have the guidance pins. This will help you with alignment of those two large parts together. The next one is done in the same style as what we saw on the right one. So as you can see here, we have also the tail fin pre-molded, and if I flip it over here, we have all of the guidance pins in place. So overall it looks fine, and I think you already heard that this one is or can be considered as one of the best Thunderbolts on the market, so I guess with the M version it doesn't change. And in case you are interested, you can find a comparison with the Tamiya plastic on my YouTube channel. It's also something notable because Tamiya was, let's say, appreciated for quite a long time, but not anymore in my opinion. So here you can see the parts which you will be getting only in the advanced version. Here we have some new elements for the engine bay, also some new cooling panels. We have also the ammo base for the wings, and that's why we have the new top wing halves, because you can open it and expose it. Obviously you don't have to expose both, but it might be a really good addition in 1/48 scale. And here from the opposite side you can see that some parts also have additional features as well. So this is a quite important thing in 1/48 scale release, because all of this stuff is actually noticeable on the finished model, and that's why I'm usually saying that it's worth spending some time on painting and weathering those elements, because it will be a quite cool thing to notice on the finished build. Here we continue with the standard parts. So here we will need only this lower wing half. As you remember, here we have new parts, and also we have 2 versions of the landing gear legs, one with the load, one without. So this is already your choice which you would pick. Obviously if you plan to attach a lot of armament, then definitely pick the loaded version for a bit more convincing appearance. Next we have the narrow plastic sprue, and I'm just checking what is included here. From what I can see, we have some parts for the wheel wells. Also, we have two types of the landing gear wheels, and also here you can see the tail landing gear wheel, and inside, as you can see, we have some guiding pins which will help you with alignment of these wheels together, and they are looking okay for the standard project. But if you plan to have something a bit more sophisticated, then definitely go for some aftermarket, because it will give you a bit more detailed look, and I think in 1/48 scale such upgrades are noticeable. Here you can see the cockpit parts. So that's the floor panel, side wall, also we have the instrument panel here, and the surface features are quite impressive. But of course it will require also some careful paint work, because otherwise you might end up with the quite strange looking result. Next, another nice thing is the engine, which is included even in the standard package. And as you can see, there are a lot of things to copy out of the box. So manufacturer decided not to save money and space here. And as you can see, we have a really nice power plant included in the standard package. Again, I will repeat it. And it might be worth exposing it on the finished model. And overall assembly, from what I remember, is also not that difficult. Here we have some of the fuselage panels, nothing special in a good sense. Next we have the clear sprues. So for this I will have to open the plastic bag, and I'm surprised that there are actually two clear plastic sprues. I guess that depends on the marking option you will pick for your build. So let's open it and check it together. And it's also good that they're packed separately, I mean in the separate plastic bag, because it gives you a certainty that they will not be scratched or damaged somehow. But as you can see, the overall design is pretty much similar on them both. And of course we have the main section molded separately, so you can open the cockpit, you can expose what is inside, but even with a closed cockpit it will be noticeable, because this is a bubble top version, so the cockpit is pretty much visible. Next we continue with the connection of the sprues for the external equipment. Here probably I will just zoom out so that you can check them all. And as you can see, we have bombs, fuel tanks. All of this is coming as a standard again, so definitely some of those parts will go into spare parts. And this is a really cool bonus, and of course again it's worth appreciating that it's not sold separately or else. Next we have also the propeller parts. So as you can see, two blades are molded together, and then they should be connected together as well. Next we continue with another last gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated again to the mix of parts. Here we have the tail wings, also engine gear panels, and also some parts for the cockpit again. Note that the pilot seat here has the pre-molded seat belts, but from what I remember they should be also supplied as the PE parts. So in order to check the PE thread I will have to open another plastic bag, so just give me a second. And it should be quick, because I see that the plastic bag was slightly torn apart. So just give me a second. In the meantime, I can also remind you that I reviewed the previous versions as well, so in case you are interested, you can find them easily on the same YouTube channel which you are watching right now, and some of them are really worth adding to your collection, and I think they cost quite reasonable money, so this is definitely a good offering from Miniart. And of course, if you are not subscribed, do not forget to subscribe, because it also helps greatly. And of course you won't miss the new videos once they are out. So as for the PE thread, here it is. As you can see, it's unpainted PE thread, but it's quite standard bonus for Miniart. As you can see here, we have not only the cockpit parts, but also something for the engine. And of course, I recommend to apply all of this stuff, because it will just add some fine features which could not be copied in plastic. Next, we also have the decals. So surprisingly, all symbols are fitting onto one decal sheet. So here I'm zooming out, and now you should be able to see what we are actually having here. So we have the stencils here, we have also the cockpit decals here, and the overall printing quality looks great. So it's just a matter of deciding which marking you would like to copy and then applying all of the symbols. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So here I'm closing the lenses even more and maybe zooming out, so that you can see this, I would say, classic Miniart brochure. So we have short list of the features here. Next, we continue with the marking options. So this one is coming from 1945 spring. This one is also from the same time, but as you can see, the markings are quite different, and I would say that Thunderbolt in this dark colored version would be quite unusual. And here we have another one, so this one is from spring 1945 as well. And as you can see here, we have also interesting camouflage and some writings on the fuselage. Then we have the parts map. Remember that Miniart does not show which parts are unused, so pay attention to this. But note that straight from the start you are offered the choice between the pre-molded seatbelts or the PE seatbelts. So this is quite cool. And of course, plan in advance how you will be painting the cockpit, because later it will be really difficult to reach. But here you can see what we were talking about. Next, we are working on the engine. So again, a lot of stuff being copied here, and you even have to use, or you can use, the metal wire. And as you can see, you have the choices between advanced assembly or the basic assembly, but it would be strange to get the advanced kit and not to use the advanced parts. What is cool here is that you can assemble in flight position, so with the closed landing gear, it might be a really great option for showing on the model stand. Then here again you have a choice between basic and advanced version for the top wing features. And as you can see, there are more parts for the advanced, obviously. Also we have here the choice between the normal chassis and under the load. And also you have some options for the wing mechanization. Next, we have some options for the main landing gear, again in flight or in the parked position. Then we have armament assembly. And next, we have the load scheme here. We have the stencils guide here. And next, we have also the wiring diagrams. So in case you are feeling lucky, you can also replicate this. And also here we have the marking guide for the armament and 2 other keys from the same series of the aircraft. I reviewed them as well, so in case you're interested, you know where to find them. And as for the new kit, it should be already available in Madenimex. In my opinion, it's a great offering for all fans of this quite well-known aircraft. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion. What do you think about such release? Write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.